Welcome. In this video, we're going to go through a general overview of the Kansas Environmental Information Management System, or KEIMS. KEIMS is now the standard method for submitting paperwork related to environmental compliance and permitting at the state level in Kansas. To access KEIMS, go to kdheks.gov, select Environment, and look under Data and Reporting, or you can find it in the quick links at the bottom of the page. One important thing to note is the site selection. If you have more than one site associated with your account, KEIMS will default to showing you information for all of them at once. You can select one of your sites from the drop-down box in the top left corner to see only information for that site. If you select a site that hasn't had any forms uploaded for it yet, the left menu will look different, so be aware that some of these options will not be there. You can minimize the left menu by clicking the green bar at the bottom of the menu. Clicking the button again will expand the menu again. Some portions of the site will have their own back button, or you can always use your browser's back button. We'll start on the home page. This is where you'll start, and you can always get back to it by clicking Home on the left menu. If you look at the bottom of the home page, you'll see this Need Help section. There are some notes to explain pages or sections of forms, but the help link icon mentioned isn't actually on every page in this version of KEIMS. If you need help, the Contact Us link at the bottom and the Contact link in the menu along the top right will take you to a KDHE page with contact information for general or bureau-specific assistance, as well as general information on KEIMS. In that menu, you also have Home, which takes you to the same page as the dashboard link on the left menu, which we will cover more in a bit, About, which will take you to the same page as Contact, and Sign Out. Below this menu, you will find the Notifications icon. This takes you to the same place as the Notifications link in the left menu, which we will cover in a bit. Next to the Notifications icon is your profile and settings, which will show up as the display name for your account. Clicking this will show your user profile, which includes details and sites. The Details section is where you can view and edit the name and contact information for your account. You can see your login name and email address, but you can't edit these on your own. You will need to contact an administrator at KDHE to do that. Again, you can find their contact information by clicking Contact in the top right menu. You can also change your notification delivery preference. It should default to deliver in system and via email. It is strongly recommended that you keep this setting to make sure you see any notifications for your account, especially if you are not logging into KEIMS frequently. Along the right is the link to change your password. Note it will ask one of your security questions and ask for your current password. Below that is the certifier agreement form. This isn't currently required for storage tank, dry cleaner, or other programs within the Bureau of Environmental Remediation, also known as BER. Under Sites, you can find a list of sites associated with your account along with your role on each and contact information for the administrators on each. Here you can also choose to hide a site in the main menu, or you can switch a hidden one back to showing. If you have been given a verification code by KDHE to link your account to an existing site, you can enter it from here. Going back to the home page, under Finding and Submitting Applications and Requests, you can click Browse Forms. This will take you to the same place as Start a New Form on the left menu, which we will cover in a bit. Below that is Add a Site to your account. Click Add a Site, and then you will have the option to either find a site that has already been registered with KDHE or register a new site. There's also an option for Not Sure. This will take you to the same tools you use to add an existing site, so you can check if the site you want is already in the system. If you need to add a site that has already been registered with KDHE, you have 3 ways to do so. You can search by location using either an address or their map tools. You can enter a verification code if you have one, or you can contact the site administrator and ask them to invite you. Note that KEIMS does not give you a way to contact them directly. You will need to contact them outside of KEIMS. You can select Search for a site by location, and a new tab will open with the map. To use the map, you can click and drag to move and use the scroll wheel on your mouse to zoom in and out. The first icon in the controls resets the map. The second zooms to your location if you have location tracking enabled on your device. The third allows you to take measurements on the map. The fourth allows you to download the map data, though if you want information on your sites, it's likely easier to get in your own account. The fifth one lets you change what layers appear. For example, you can change the base layer to satellite view, or you can view features such as railroad tracks. The sixth one, which is selected by default when you open the map, explains how to use the most critical features of the map. You can use criteria to narrow your search using any specific information you have on the site, or you can use filters to search with more general information. For example, if you know you're looking for a dry cleaner site, you can look under BER Dry Cleaner in Filters. But if you have the permit number, you can enter it in Criteria. Click the arrow by a type of filter to see your options. Note that not all sites have locations because some are entered into the system without addresses or latitude and longitude. They won't show up on the map, but you can still view them in the list by clicking Show Sites with No Location. Going back to the main KEIMS site, we'll start down the left side menu. The dashboard shows you your documents in progress as well as fees due. Priority items are forms that require an action from the user. This could be a form that the user has started but not completed, or a form that needs revision. You can revise forms from here, continue incomplete forms, or delete drafts. Note that you can delete drafts that have not yet been submitted, but KDHE cannot delete them for you. And once they have been submitted, they cannot be deleted, though KDHE can change their status to withdrawn. If you need to contact KDHE about one of your forms, the best way to identify the form to KDHE is the submission ID. Upcoming items includes those with a set due date, like a renewal form. Scheduled items will only show up in upcoming if their due date is no more than 1 calendar year after today's date. KDHE can also set a maximum time before the deadline that an item can be submitted. For example, they could set a renewal so that it cannot be submitted more than 60 days before the deadline. As needed items include one-time use forms, such as repair reports, and recurring forms, such as annual testing reports. Draft items are those that the user has started but has not yet completed and submitted. To be signed includes items that require an e-signature. This is not required on any BER form. In-process items are those that have been submitted to KDHE for processing. Next on the left menu is notifications. This can include reminders on timed forms, next steps in a process, or requests for corrections to forms already submitted. Next is details. This section describes a site linked to your account and will only show on the menu if you have a site selected. If you have all selected, you will not see details. The Details tab will have information on the site, such as name, type, location, and site managers. The Site Plan tab shows information on the site, including map location. The Contacts tab shows other contacts associated with the site. Site administrators can assign roles to contacts such as facility manager, attorney, or 24-hour contact. The Relations tab shows relationships between entities such as facilities, owners, and managers. These can only be set by KDHE, not by users. Next is Start a New Form. For a site for which no forms have been submitted, the only options shown will be I want to start a new application, I want to make a service request, and I'm not sure, but the others will show up once a form has been submitted for the site. You can select one of the specific options, or you can go to I'm not sure to view all of them. In any section of the forms, there is a filter bar at the top. Here you can enter part of a title, such as dry cleaner, if you're looking for dry cleaning forms. If you go to the page and you're not seeing the form you need, make sure that the filter bar is clear because it may not clear itself when you leave the page or log out. Make sure you are in the correct site before starting a form, or you can select all. Then it will ask you to select a site or enter a new site name, which would then create a new site. Next is submissions. This page also shows all forms in progress or completed, though it's divided a bit differently than notifications. Not started shows forms that are scheduled for the site but have not been started yet. Draft shows forms started but not yet completed. In process shows forms that have been submitted to KDHE but not yet processed. And completed shows those that have been processed or withdrawn. Note that you can sort by several criteria to find the forms you need. Name, type, such as permit change or schedule, person who created it, the date received, due date, submission reference number, agency contact, and status. Next is the contacts list. While the contact section under details only lists users associated with the site on the facility side, such as owners and 24-hour contacts, contacts list includes everyone associated with the site, including contacts for inspections, permits, projects, and more. Next is permits/registrations. This will show the issue date, effective date, expiration date, and status of each permit or registration. Each permit or registration will have a status of in effect, issued but not in effect, in process, superseded, not issued, expired, extended, closed, or terminated. Again, these can be sorted by several criteria. Next is evaluations/inspections. These are set up by KDHE and can't be edited by non-KDHE users. You will see a notice of violation if there is one, but you can't access inspection records. Next is financials. This will show you what is due or has been paid on each item that has an associated fee. You can see outstanding fees at a glance, or you can click Open on one of the documents to see more details. You can also pay fees here if you chose not to pay when you submitted the associated form. You can pay online, or you can access instructions to pay by mail. Next is Documents, where you can view documents associated with your account. These include PDFs of forms submitted and attached documents, as well as some documents added by KDHE. Note that not all documents added by KDHE will show for the facility, only those that have been finalized and set to public. Submitted forms are usually renamed to the title of the form, but they may still appear as the submission ID. Attachments can't be renamed. Miscellaneous application and request docs refers to PDFs of forms submitted by the user. Applicant attachments refers to attachments uploaded by the user when completing a form. Other document types are those uploaded by KDHE. Forms and attachments submitted by the user will have the source type application/request and will show as owned/modified by DB system. Received/created date refers to the date and time that a document was either received in the system if uploaded or created in the system, for example, when a user starts a new form. Finally, we have authorized users. This section will only show if a site is selected and a form has been submitted for that site. This shows users from the facility side with access to the site. This includes administrators, editors, and viewers. We hope this video has helped you navigate KEIMS more easily and effectively. If you need help, SBEEP is available for general compliance assistance, or you can find contact information for KEIMS technical assistance on KDHE's website.